We have heard about racist air conditioning and Chinese restaurants. Now it is square dancing. I saw a video on Mike today about square dancing. It discusses the racism of Henry Ford and his work trying to stop young people from engaging in Black or Jewish jazz. It explores the reality of Ford's racism, but extrapolates that to mean that square dancing is inherently racist and that its origins are not European.
In his booklet, The International Jew, Ford wrote that, quote, jazz is a Jewish creation and that the musical slush was invading decent homes. So Ford poured a small fortune into trying to make old-fashioned dancing happen again. He wrote a book about square dancing with his wife. He funded radio shows and dance clubs and invited hundreds of dance instructors to his home. And it sparked a national movement.
So Henry Ford didn't like Black people or Jews. That is hardly a revelation, given the man was born in 1863. The question these people should be asking is, how does that affect anything in 2018? Their video introduces someone named Robin Penachia. When looking up state symbols, probably in hopes to find something problematic, Penn discovered that the official dance of Illinois was square dancing, and for some reason, she thought that that was strange.
Why would it be square dancing? That's weird. And so because I'm super curious as a person, I looked up all state dances because that's going to be interesting, right?
Turns out, 28 states had made square dancing the state dance. This was part of a broader push to make folk dancing the country's national dance, an initiative that eventually failed.
So there was an attempt to make square dancing the national dance of America, a traditional European dance for a country founded by Europeans. It is heartily shocking. And by the way, square dancing does have its origins in Europe, despite what Mike is about to tell us.
Because jazz was getting all these people to go out and drink and smoke cigarettes and have sex, that replacing jazz with square dancing and old-time music and things he thought of as more white and more Gentile would make people more moral again, because he was creepy and racist and hated Jewish people.
Regardless of Ford's opinions on Jews and Blacks, which are reprehensible today, but in historical context, kind of normal for the time. An attempt to bring communities together with a traditional kind of dance that doesn't involve sex, drinking, and drugs is hardly something to be frowned upon. In fact, I think it's quite a noble and important endeavor. Do the ideologues at Mike.com not realize that actually some communities might prefer family-friendly dance and local traditions that everyone can enjoy? He may have been creepy and racist and hated Jewish people, but can we please be objective about the comparison between jazz and square dancing? I like jazz, but I find it hard to see why we should condemn square dancing because of the views of a man from the 1800s.
White people at the time thought that all that shouting was way too vulgar, but they dropped that opinion once they fully appropriated the dance style, as they eventually did with blues, jazz, rock and roll, rap, and countless other Black cultural innovations. This is the great irony at the heart of Ford's nativism and white supremacy at large, that the lily-white utopia of the past was always just an illusion. It's a grift, meant to sell a dangerous vision of the future based on a fictitious story about America's past.
And here is the real crux of Mike's entire argument. This whole video was geared up to try and tell us how European cultures don't really exist. They tell us that without slaves, square dancing wouldn't have existed, but in reality, it is a medieval dance. It can even be seen in traditional Moor dancing. It is easy to see what Mike is doing here. There's obviously no doubt that there have been great Black cultural innovations in America. Nobody in their right mind is denying that, but equally it is wrong for Mike to claim racism while actively denying the existence of Western culture and using the views of men from the 1800s to justify an attack on a dance loved by all people from all different races and backgrounds across America. Black or white, it's not wrong to appreciate traditional European dance, and it's not right to suggest it would have never existed without slaves. The racism industry is gearing up. It is bigger and louder than ever, and you'll notice Every week, there is something else with a racist past that you didn't even know about. That is just life. It's how it goes. Racism was a real problem back in the day, but in 2018, the only people creating racial division are the propagandists at Mike and similar far-left outlets. If you want to see more from me and the rest of the Rebel team, like and subscribe.